Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another installment of the Two Raccoons in a Trench Coat podcast. I'm your co host for today's episode, Some Guy with a Hat, and joined for the first time by our very special, extremely special guest host for the episode.
I am not on the Epstein client list, guy with a microphone.
Nice.
So, we have a great show lined up for you today, listeners and watchers of the YouTube variety. Today's topic is all about the one, the only, Mr. Hayao Miyazaki and the Studio Ghibli collection of films. Many of you grew up with a lot of these films and probably went and saw Boy and the Heron last year when it came out to theaters. But for those of you who have never watched a Ghibli film, this is going to be a treat, and we're going to tell you all about it. But before we start off with our stuff today, tell me, some guy with a hat, how many Studio Ghibli films or Hayao Miyazaki specific movies have you seen?
Like 2.5, I think.
That's fair. That's very fair. What movies have you seen?
So I think the first one I saw, I was really young, and my cousin was really excited to show it to me. It was pretty sure it was Spirited Away. That's the one where the parents get turned into pigs, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And then senior year of high school, we watched, I think, Totoro in one of the language arts teachers' classes. And then is Howl's Moving Castle?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. That is part of the collection.
Watched the first half of that, and then the person that I was watching it with wanted to do something else. So.
Oh. Well, that's good. Let's start with the ones you have seen. Tell me, what do you remember of Spirited Away, the one where the parents turn into pigs?
Not a whole lot. I remember the vibes were really weird. Like, the parents, like, kept eating food, and then they got turned into pigs in this weird town. And then she had to, like, try and decide which of the other pigs were her parents, or, like, they're never going to get turned back. But then it feels like it goes on, like, a whole ton of side tangents, instead of just going, like, hey, which of these pigs do you think are your parents? So it like, feels like the bookends were very disconnected from what I remember from the middle of the film.
Mm-hmm.
And then is that the one where there's this, like, black monster that eats people or something?
Yes, that is the river spirit.
Okay, what the hell was up with that? Because that also felt like it came out of nowhere and no connection to the rest of it.
Okay, so for those of you who have not seen it, those of you who are screaming at the mic at the screen right now, so Spirited Away starts with our young protagonist Chihiro and her parents moving to a new town in Japan. While they're going to this new town, they take a detour. You know how dads have their famous detours. And they kind of get lost, and they find an abandoned theme park. They go across a little bridge to get into the little theme park, and there's, like, the shop stalls are open, and there's food being cooked and stuff, but no one's really around. And the parents start, like, to pig out and turn into pigs because the whole place is cursed. Chihiro finds herself in this other realm, air quotes, that's across the river, and wants to get her way back, but doesn't want to leave without her parents. So she's told, well, okay, if you can pick which these pigs are your parents, you can just leave. You can just go. And then she can't tell them apart. Spoiler alert.
None of them were.
Yeah, none of them are her parents.
I remember that part distinctly.
Yes. Spoilers for all the Hayao Miyazaki movies and the Studio Ghibli movies we're going to talk about. Not that they're children's movies. They're easy to see coming a mile away when it comes to the endings. Pretty much not every movie has a happy ending. Grave of the Fireflies, nothing happy happens in that entire film. But back to Spirited Away. So that giant goo monster, they think it's a stink spirit when it first enters the bathhouse where Chihiro was working. Turns out it is, I think it's the northern water spirit. But it's been plagued by so much pollution that it's become gross and disgusting. And that's kind of like the play on it is, at least at the time, Japan had a very big, like, pollution issue, which is what was being kind of, like, addressed there. Like, oh, the river is so gross and polluted that even the spirits who are that river are disgusting and polluted, and we need to take care of um our natural resources and stuff like that. Um, which
Subliminal
is fun.
messaging in children's films? What the hell is this?
Yeah. Um, so the do you remember the dragon at all?
No.
So do you remember a boy named Haku?
I have no idea what you're saying.
Okay, so during Chihiro's stay, there's this young boy. His name is Haku, not to be confused with Haku from the uh, Water Village arc from Naruto. It's not the same Haku, but they're both pretty boys. Um, so Haku can turn into a dragon,
Okay.
apropos of nothing.
Oh, wait a
Um,
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yes. Yes, it's starting to vaguely come back to me.
yeah. And the whole thing with Haku is he can't remember his actual name, and if he can remember it, then he's free from the witch.
That's right.
That's his whole thing. And Chihiro makes it her mission to, while she's trying to figure out how to save herself, she's going to help him. Um, and it turns out, spoiler alert again, that Haku is actually a river spirit, which is why he's a dragon. And the river that Haku that he's the spirit of, was paved over. That's why he can't remember his name,
Mm.
because that river is gone. Which is another like dig at like, hey, society is literally destroying our natural ecosystem, and it's in the Shinto religion, everything like has a spirit, and you're destroying those spirits by destroying the natural habitat. And it turns out that it's the same river that Chihiro grew up next to and was moving away from.
Well,
And
ladies
that's
and
how
gentlemen, you're welcome. We drained the swamp, except it's not a swamp, and we don't know where swamp was. Whoops.
turns out it was a dragon. The Democrats did not do their due diligence, and then they drained it.
I'm gonna put a cork in this one right here, right now, because if I don't, I could just go on, and that would be the whole episode is just rambling about whatever. So,
But that's basically Spirited Away in a nutshell. There's also a giant baby. Um, that
yeah.
parts of it. There's a lot of like. I think Hayao Miyazaki is terrified of old women
I mean, who isn't?
because every villain in a Miyazaki movie is just a scary old lady. Like it's just like a little babushka that's like immensely powerful and terrifying. Um, touching back onto some of the other films, so Howl's Moving Castle, which is my fiance's favorite Miyazaki film. We've watched it numerous times. Um, so that I can understand why the person you're watching with wanted to do something else. Howl's Moving Castle is a very
No.
I know, I'm aware. I'm giving you an out.
Okay, I didn't. I have no idea how you knew about the circumstance, but okay, sure.
I just picked up on it.
Okay.
It's called subtext. I'm an
and
author.
I can't read.
Howl's Moving Castle is a very slow build. Howl's Moving Castle has to do with this mage or wizard named Howl, who dyes his hair, and he's obsessed with being eternally beautiful. That's his whole thing. There's another scary, evil old lady, because of course there is, and she curses our, hey love. Oh, it's Sophie, that's her name. So Sophie, our protagonist, works at a hat shop, making lovely hats, and this old, like, she's an old fat witch, because they're always old, and they're always fat, and they're always scary. Miyazaki is afraid of old fat women. But curses some people, curses several people. She turns the prince into a scarecrow named Turniphead, if you remember who Turniphead was. Sophie gets turned into an old lady because she's too pretty and the witch is jealous.
Yeah.
And then Howl is actually a bird. Someone's always something else. In every movie, someone is always something else.
Isn't there like a living?
True.
What?
What's that? She said she's also an emo edgelord.
Oh, nice. Isn't there also like a living ball of fire in this one?
Yes,
Okay.
that is Calcifer. He is the promotional marketing tool for Howl's Moving Castle. Um, is it Eugene Levy that he doesn't know? It's not Eugene Levy. Who voices
Sean?
Calcifer? It's someone important. Billy Crystal, that's who it is.
Hmm.
You know who Billy Crystal is?
I'm looking him up right now. I don't recognize him just based off the name. Oh, yeah, I see.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So yes, so that's Calcifer. There's also a dog that just goes the whole movie. That's all he ever says. Surprisingly, he's not a person,
Hmm.
but he also is, but also isn't, but also is, but also isn't because he's a doppelganger, and the doppelganger is really a person, and the person's really the queen.
Oh,
The
it's
movie's
one of
hard to fucking follow.
it's one of them furry things, isn't it?
It is. You know what? We have a guest yet to be on the show who knows all about that.
Do we?
Yeah. Anyway, so moving on. So I think one you have seen is Kiki's Delivery Service. I believe you came with us to see that at Imagine.
No.
Did you not go?
No, I don't think I was
It might have
invited.
it might have been just me and Emma actually.
Oh, I know you were talking about it, but I don't think we ever like set any plans for it. So,
That's fair. I think it might have just been me and Emma actually. Now that I think about it. Oh, you went to Sonic 3 with us.
yeah, are they similar? Because I don't see the correlation.
Both are very popular with autistic children.
Oh, well, okay.
So Kiki's Blind Delivery Service, which is my personal favorite movie of the Studio Ghibli collection of Hayao Miyazaki films, which is weird to have that be my favorite. Um, but at the time, I was little when I first saw it, and it's got a cat named Gigi, who we have our cat, and if we had gotten a black cat and it would have been a boy, I would have renamed him to Gigi without a second thought. Um, I'm petting the cat right now. Speaking of,
Hello, Jack.
hey bud, hello Jack, hi buddy. So basically, Kiki's a witch because there's always a witch, but she's a good witch this time, and she's like this young lady who. You want to come up on my lap? Come on, come on up, come on. You want up? Come on up, come on.
I'm pretty
Yep.
sure he's still
All
talking
right.
about the cat here.
I am.
Okay.
Um. So, Kiki's a witch, and basically she needs to practice her witchery and whatnot. Her mom is also a witch, which is how she became a witch. It's a family thing, and super fun, super good movie. So basically, she decides to move to a seaside town because that's what she always wanted to do. Um, and she decides to use her flying broom and her abilities as a witch to deliver baked goods. Hence the delivery service. Um, Long story short, this movie doesn't have a lot of anything. It's one of the kind of movies you can kind of put on while cleaning your house.
Mm.
The only action in Kiki's Delivery Service happens at like the last like 10 minutes of the movie, where Botan, no, not Botan. Oh my god, I'm butchering so many things about my favorite movie in the collection. Anyway, fucking Glasses Bike Boy, who's obsessed with fucking blimps, because that's a whole thing. Um, Gets to ride on a blimp and falls the fuck out, and is dangling by the fucking like cord that tethers her to the ground or whatever. And it's like, oh god, something horrible is gonna happen. And then turns out Kiki's not doing witchy things good enough, and because of that, she's losing her witch powers. Which is kind of like throughout the movies, kind of becoming a thing. The first notice is that Gigi, her cat, who's her familiar, he stops talking to her, and not because he wants to, but because she's lost too much of her witchiness magic. So now he's just a regular cat, which is different. Um, and she musters up enough witchy prowess to fly her broom, which is like broken and rickety and not very good. and save her new best buddy's life, which is kind of cool. And also, the kid's like 14 and has a driver's license for some reason, and he's rolling around the town with his buddies picking up chicks. It's a weird film.
Well,
There's no. Mhm.
I mean, Short Round was driving in Temple of Doom, so I mean,
You know what? That is absolutely fair.
I think we should give all kids driver's license. You know what? Abolish driver's license. The only people who should have driver's license are people over the age of 60.
Agreed. Everyone else can take the bus.
No, everyone else can drive,
Um,
but if you're over the age of 60, you have to get a license to ensure that you can still be able to drive.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kiki's Delivery Service, one of the better ones. There is a surprising amount of upskirt shots in that movie, which I didn't realize until I was older.
That's lovely.
But Kiki's always wearing like old fashioned like bloomers, so it's not like, oh, it's scandalous like a lot of anime. It's just like, yeah, she's wearing a dress and flying really fast. Why the camera's angles down below is different, but there's some creative stuff that some creative choices that I'm like, all right. Like as a kid, you don't really notice.
Yeah,
Because you're a kid.
Yeah,
and
all
just...
kids are stupid.
Yes. But yeah, that's Kiki's Delivery Service in a nutshell. What are your thoughts so far? Give me some what you're feeling.
Yeah, I'm surprised with how much came back to me that I guess I never realized I remembered about Spirited Away with the whole Dragon Boy thing. Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to go see the movie with you guys, but I guess you were, on a date or something, like whatever. But yeah, I mean, I've never sought out to watch any of these movies with under my own volition. Is that the right word for it? Volition.
Yeah. Volition. Accord would also work.
Yeah. Because it's not really my genre. Like I was never really into this like animation style or these like story structures in that kind of sense. But yeah, I'd be really interested in watching one now with a more like see if I could appreciate the animation style or the story structure more now that I'm able to pick up on more stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. You're a sophisticated adult now.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I went to college for after all. I don't know if you know this, but as the only film student here, I would be interested in watching these under a different eye.
That's fair. There's some great bangers. Speaking of bangers, you gotta watch when it comes to Ghibli, Princess Mononoke. It opens with a boar being devoured by blood-sucking leeches. It is okay. So most of the movies in the Hayao Miyazaki lineup are kids movies, like just straight up kids. Very little violence, very little blood, minimal conflict, right?
Mm-hmm.
Princess Mononoke is all about a warrior princess of the forest who can still see forest spirits, which most people can't anymore because they've lost touch with nature. She beheads people.
Nice.
I think, is either Mononoke or one of her soldiers that follows her fires an arrow that rips a dude's head off. Princess Mononoke is a great one. It's definitely more of the, it has a plot throughout. It's very like anti big industry, anti like there's a lot of like green messaging in a lot of Miyazaki films. Mm-hmm. Miyazaki, who also you'll appreciate this, has said several times that he does not appreciate, approve, or believe in the use of AI.
Oh, that's great.
Because they tried to approach Miyazaki saying like, oh, well, you're getting old. We can use AI to finish some of your work. And he basically said, if you ever touch any of my work with AI, I'll rip it all away. So that's Princess Mononoke in a nutshell. Very very like, just it's very green, very anti-establishments, very anti-industry. Moving on from Princess Mononoke to the other one that's not really for kids, Grave of the Fireflies, which I've only seen twice, and I don't want to see it a third time.
Oh.
It's just a movie about children who are orphaned by war, and they're just suffering the entire movie. Like, do you remember... Okay, you've seen Lord of the Rings, right?
I have not.
Okay, so in Lord of the Rings, there's this thing they do called walking. They do a lot of walking. It's
Oh, like
3 movies of walking.
that Norman Reedus game. It's based off of that?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly, just like that. Um, they too are trying to balance packages and save a baby.
Mhm.
Um, so Grave of the Fireflies is just walking and suffering. Because their parents are dead, people are like getting killed left and right. I do believe some of the kids die on screen.
Oh, we love when
It's
that
a
happens.
hard film.
We here
Um,
at the Two Raccoons and Trench Coat podcast are avid supporters of child death in cinema.
yeah, just like Jurassic Park. If the kids, every time the kids are in a scene, there's no more suspense in that scene.
Yeah, there's no way Tim and Lex would have survived the cafeteria. No way.
No, no, I'm sorry. That's an apex predator for millions of years. You're a child. You're dead.
Yeah, like I can understand the T Rex attack because they had Jeff Goldblum to distract him. I mean, everyone's gonna be distracted by Jeff Goldblum. Let's be
Right.
honest. But
Regardless
no,
of species.
yeah, once you're one on one with raptors, you're done. You're done, buddy.
You're done.
Clock out.
Um, Speaking of going one on one, a really good movie. So Miyazaki loves planes, loves aircraft. My favorite one about planes is either Nausicaa in Valley of the Wind Rises, which I believe are actually tied together. They're supposed to be like parts of the same story,
Oh,
with different timelines. Um, and then there's another one, not really that I love, called Porco Rosso,
oh no.
which is about a man who's an Italian man who is a man but is also a pig. He's a pig man. And
Okay,
he's
how
a
many
pig.
of these movies are there?
Let's
Because it
see.
seems
Let
like
me
there are
count.
very
Let me.
similar
I'm not.
ideas.
I'm not going over all of them, but I will name them all. So we'll start with discs 1, 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just gonna go in order. So there is Panda, Co-Panda, the Castle of. I always pronounce his name wrong. Cagliostro. Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Yes, Jack, very good. Laputa Castle in the Sky, Grave of the Fireflies, My Neighbor Totoro, Kiki's Delivery Service, Only Yesterday, Porco Rosso, Ocean Waves, only in Japanese though, Pom Poko, Whisper of the Heart, Princess Mononoke, My Neighbors, The Amadas, Spirited Away, The Cat Returns, which is the most underrated Ghibli film, House Moving Castle, Tales of Earthsea, we're never talking about Tales of Earthsea, Ponyo on the Cliff by the Sea, or just Ponyo, The Secret World of Arrietty, which is I think there's an American version of The Secret World of Arrietty. That's the exact same movie, just it's like little mouse people. From Up on Poppy Hill, The Tale of Princess Kaguya, The Wind Rises, and finally when Marnie was there. There's also a couple others like The Boy and the Heron, which I don't have in this collection because it's too new. But yeah,
So I just counted 25 films that you mentioned by name. How long has this guy been making these? Because that is an
So,
insane number
yeah.
of films.
So Mr. Hayao Miyazaki. So he's 84. He's still working on films.
Which is weird because I thought a few years ago I heard something that him saying like, "Oh, yep, I'm done," but then
He
it's
did.
like, "Surprise! Here's another one."
So Mr. Hayao Miyazaki. So you know Walt Disney.
I think I've heard of that guy. He did Universal,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Or
Exactly.
no, DreamWorks. My bad, DreamWorks.
Yeah, you're right.
Our
Cars.
theme park correspondent's gonna kill me for that one, but okay.
Oh, absolutely. So Mr. Miyazaki started doing films and stuff before Disney, and he's now still doing them. uh Miyazaki is the epitome of I work because it's what I have a passion for. There is a absolutely wonderful documentary about Miyazaki. I believe is The Life of Miyazaki. I think there's a couple of good ones. But long story short, he's got a lot of great memes. Like, for example, He goes, I don't know why I want to make another movie. It brings me nothing but misery. And they asked, like, oh, like, how did you get into animation and anime? And he's like, anime was a mistake. He actively hates while he's doing it.
Sounds like he's working an American 9 to 5 to me.
Right? It's just wild. Like, he's just a wild individual. He's just a good, wholesome guy, but he's also like office rocker at times. Like, they're sitting there, like, and he's drawing, and there's like he has his cat is sitting on the counter. And he's like, "Oh, look at you! No deadlines, no work, just cat. Oh, to just be cat." As he's working on a multi-billion-dollar film industry. They took him out to like do some like some interview stuff, and he walked away and was smoking on his little cigarette, and he goes, "This is a nice place to be buried." And they're like, "Oh, so you named it Studio Ghibli. It's like, what deep connection is it?" He goes, "It just sounded good. I saw it on a plane once, and I was like, I'm gonna use that." There's also parts of it where it's like Miyazaki, he's, oh my goodness. There's a portion of the movie, of the film, where it's like Hayao Miyazaki takes out an old palette of pastels. Miyazaki has never used pastels. And he's just like, I don't know, for this movie I'm going to try something different. I don't know if it's going to stick. I'm going to try it. He's an iconic. Yeah, it's how he made Ponyo.
Oh.
Which is a very well-grossing film.
Is that one of the newer ones?
Yes, that is, I think, the second newest film. Boy and the Heron's the newest one, which is about a time-traveling heron, which is weird and also very good and sentimental. And then Ponyo was all about bad parenting. It's just bad parenting, the movie.
My Life Could Be a Movie?
It could be. That movie could be Tales of Earthsea, so Goro Miyazaki, which is Hayao Miyazaki's son, wanted to get into the animation business and said, "Dad, I'm going to take over working for Studio Ghibli." And Miyazaki said, "You're no good at this." And he said, "I'm going to do my best, Dad." And he said, "Okay, then I'm going to retire if you're going to take over." And he retired. And then his son was like, "Dad, what should I make?" And he goes, "I don't know, make something of your own, like I did." And he goes, "I'm going to adapt Tales of Earthsea." Tales of Earthsea is a book series that they tried to cram into a 2-hour movie. No, it went bad. And then it was so bad that Miyazaki came out of retirement. And he told his son to his face, "You're bad at this. Go do something else." Miyazaki does not pull any punches with his children.
Yeah.
I'm also not prepared because he's going to die one day, and I'm not prepared for that.
Yeah, he's like, what, 84 you said?
He's 84. I'm also taller than Hayao Miyazaki. He's only 5'5". I'm 5'6", so.
Wow, flexing.
I don't know, right? I'm this short Asian man.
After he hears this, he's probably gonna finally like pull the plug on everything. He's like, you know what? If all this stress of the animating doesn't do it, this random raccoon flexing that he's 2 inches taller than me is.
That's it. We're done. But yes, we got some time left here. So, going back to some of the Miyazaki movies, any questions for me so far about any of the Miyazaki films, Miyazaki himself, anything at all?
What would you say is his most iconic? Because two films to me come to mind that I always hear in the conversation.
The most iconic is definitely far and away My Neighbor Totoro.
Mm-hmm. That's one of them.
And then probably Spirited Away being his other one.
That's the other one I had.
Everyone loves My Neighbor Totoro, which is fun. It's got the cat bus. It's got Totoro. It might be an allegory for coming to terms with death.
That's what I thought.
Um, it it's a really if you like just watch the movie, it's a fun little whimsical tale. But if you read between the lines, it's really sad.
Hmm.
Um, it might be about coming to terms with death. We don't know. Totoro might be like the Grim Reaper. Again, we don't really know.
That's
Miyazaki is
that's what I like to imagine the headcanon is like these. What is it? Two kids just hanging out with
yeah.
death, like,
Yep.
and he's just chilling. Like, okay,
Because in the start of the movie, I believe it's the mother gets like typhoid fever and she definitely dies.
yeah, because they
And then
go to
like
live with their grandparents or something, right?
yeah, and then all the villagers are freaking out because they find one of the little kids' shoes in the river, and they're like, oh, it's their shoe. Uh, and then okay, there's two versions. Just like in Kiki's, there's two. There's two. In one, they're distraught that they find the shoe because that means their child is dead, and the other, they're rejoicing because it's their shoes, so they must still be alive. I don't know what the original intention is.
I would assume that the thought is that they're dead.
Right, but also all the kids' shoes look the same. How do you know? How do you know it's your kid's shoe? Anyway, Totoro has the cat bus, the most iconic merchandise, the most rabid fan base. It's a good meal. It's a good movie. It's a good film. Um, it's not my personal favorite, but I would never like be. I'm out of here. I'm not watching My Neighbor Totoro. I'll watch it. A detail, a detail. So you know the cat bus.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene where it jumps over the camera view, and you're like looking up under side of the cat bus.
Okay,
The cat bus has balls. He's got furry little balls.
that's great.
I don't know why they felt the need to give the cat bus balls,
I mean,
but they did.
look, if you're filming this kind of documentary, you want the most accuracy possible. And if one little detail's off, no one's going to believe the fact that the Grim Reaper can turn into the cat bus in the first place. So I get it.
But yeah, My Neighbor Totoro is definitely the most iconic film. It's also the most heavily marketed film in their lineup, I do believe, as well. Spirited Away is also good. When it comes to the marketing, the most underrated is The Cat Returns, which is a fantastic film about a woman who gets turned into a cat, and then she can talk to cats. And this one cat's like, "Stick with me. I'll make you back into a human again. I know a guy. He does not know a guy." And he's like, "I'm an alley cat. That means people don't like me." You ever seen the Aristocats from Disney?
Nope.
It's something like that. And they go and like, there's this big fluffy Maine Coon cat that's like the king of the cats. He's the cat king.
Mm-hmm.
And the protagonist cat lady meets him, and he goes, "Sup, babe." That's his voice line. "Sup, babe." And she's like, "Are you the king of cats?" "That's me, babe." Like, I don't know why the American translation is just some dude with a cigarette and a beer in the other hand, just going, "Yep, that's me." They never address it. He's just kind of like a sleazy king. Um, anyway, The Cat Returns is. It sounds like a sequel. It's not.
Somehow the cat
Um,
returned.
literally. But it has a happy ending, of course. The girl turns back to being a human, and then she likes cats now because she was a cat, and now she has this new respect for cats in their lives. Um, yeah. There's most of the movies are just childhood movies that have like good. The one that is probably the most complicated to understand is the Tale of Princess Kaguya, because that's straight up it's a Japanese mythology tale about a little girl born from bamboo.
Okay.
There's two people, and they're in the forest, and they're a husband and wife, and their job is they collect bamboo and they sell it. And one day they're cutting down stalks of bamboo, and there is a girl inside one of them, just a baby. And they're like, "Huh, okay." And then turns out that this little girl is like a goddess, because obviously. And then
Of
sometimes the
course.
bamboo they cut down contains like fine silk. Sometimes it just contains gold because, they named the girl Kaguya and she wants her adoptive parents to be like comfortable and wealthy. A guy dies in this film by falling to his death.
Didn't check for fall damage beforehand.
Yeah, tell me about
Rookie
it.
mistake.
Basically, Princess Kaguya, very beautiful. She's gonna be married off, and she's like, "Well, I get to pick what my suitors have to accomplish." And she puts up like 3 fucking insane tasks, and one of them is to get like a certain bird egg. And this one dude climbs up like a pole, and he's like, "I got the egg." Falls out, lands on his neck, and fucking dies.
Well, he got the egg.
He did. Um, yeah. And at the end of the movie, the other Shinto gods are like, "You're not marrying anyone. You're just coming up with us. Let's leave." And then her parents are horribly sad because their daughter is gone. And that's how the movie fucking ends.
Okay.
There's a lot of build up, and then it's just sad, and then it's over. Again, it's a Japanese mythology tale, and from what I am told, it's pretty accurate to the actual tale. They didn't take a whole lot of like liberties with it. Oh, I was talking about Porco Rosso. Jump back with me to Porco Rosso, a man who's a pig, an Italian man who's a pig, who's cursed by a witch to be a pig. That is never addressed.
Oh. Well,
Basically,
okay. Is it kind of like understood that there's a whole ton of like mysticism in this universe, or is it
most of
played
most of
straight?
most of Hayao Miyazaki movies, whether they take place in their own world or connected worlds, magic is usually like an underlying theme, but mostly it's like apart from like arcane magic we think of, it's more of like, oh, spirits and gods, they do mysterious things and we just have to live in a world where that happens.
Yeah.
And so Porco Rosso, he is a pilot. He gets turned into a pig. That does not faze him. He's just a pig man. He's also very misogynistic, which is how he got cursed. He's a pilot. He flies his plane to this little airstrip. And he's like, "Oh, my plane's broken. You guys have to fix it." And they're like, "We'll fix your plane." And he goes to check on it, and there's women working on the plane. And he goes,
No.
you got dames doing this? Dames? Which is, again, it's basically a movie about, like, women can also be, like, breadwinners. They can join the workforce. They can be, like, independent and strong. It's a very, if you get past the chauvinistic pig man, who's literally a chauvinistic pig, it's a movie about women's empowerment. And it has the most iconic line in, I think, all of Studio Ghibli, which is where there's a police officer who's trying to get Porco Rosso to join the force and become a cop.
Why?
And they're in a movie because he's a really good pilot, and I guess that means you'll make a good cop. I don't know how it translates exactly. But they're in a movie theater, and they're talking when they're not supposed to be. And this cop is like, "Hey, why don't you just join the force, Rosso? We could use you." And without missing a beat, this pig man puts a fistful of popcorn in his mouth and goes, "I'd rather be a pig than a fascist." And it's a great line. And in the end, we don't learn anything because he's a chauvinistic pig the entire time. He never treats women better. He gets his plane fixed. He flies off. We're done. That's it. It's a movie about a man being obstinate and hating fascism, and women can also join the workforce, and that's it. That's the end of the movie. It's a great film. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites. It's one of the ones I quote the most often.
So, it sounds like you're a little bit of an expert on these films.
Ooh, I don't know. Go ahead. Do you have questions for me?
I've been looking up stuff through this
Oh,
episode.
God, no. All
and
right,
I think we're going to do an installment of Stump the Expert.
Oh, no. All right.
Seeing as though I'm nowhere near close to an expert, I don't even remember the basic plot of some of these films. I'm getting all of these questions from chicagopubliclibrary.org.
Oh,
I'm going to pick a couple at random here. Oh, this one looks fun. Which actor from the newest Star Wars trilogy also voiced the protagonist in a Studio Ghibli film?
The newest Star Wars?
The newest Star Wars trilogy. So, like the sequels.
Okay. Okay, let me think.
You've got multiple choice. Do you want me to give you the choices it gives you?
Yeah.
We got John Boyega, Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, or Lupita Nyong'o. I think I actually know this one. I did not know this one.
Okay, this isn't one of the options, but I'm like 98% sure Mark Hamill is in both.
You might be right.
I
And
think Mark
technically
Hamill's in Castle in the Sky.
and he was in the newest trilogy. So, yeah,
Um,
sure.
but of the three, okay, what were the three names you mentioned?
It's not John Boyega. That's who I thought it was, and it's not right. We've got Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, or Lupita Nyong'o.
Nyong'o?
Is that who you're guessing?
I'm gonna guess Nyong'o.
It is Daisy Ridley.
Really? What's Daisy Ridley
The
in?
English dub of the 25th anniversary edition of Only Yesterday features Daisy Ridley as Taeko Okajima.
Oh, I've only seen Only Yesterday once, and that was back when it came out.
Yeah, I didn't. So this doesn't give you the answers. So I wouldn't have. That's a bad question because it's a redub. It's an
Yeah, because
anniversary.
Only Yesterday. Yeah, and because Only Yesterday came out in '91.
This is an interesting one. Which Studio Ghibli film does not include human-like animal characters?
Which one does not include human-like animal characters? Oh no!
Like
Oh
it's
no! There's so many that do.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you three choices here, and you're gonna know which ones it is based on what we've talked about.
Gotcha. Is Castle of Castigliero, Castle of Cagliostro on that list?
It is not.
Oh. What is the answer?
From Up on Poppy Hill.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
All right, I'll
That's a
grab
cute little
one
rom-com.
more here. It's a rom-com, you said?
I believe, yeah. If I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Last question here. Which Studio Ghibli film's protagonist is a World War I veteran?
Is that Porco Rosso?
You're correct.
All right, I'm pretty sure he was in the war.
All right, that's one out of I don't know how many I asked, and I don't know how many you got right, but you got that last one right. So congratulations.
Woo! I know the Pigman movie.
Yeah, I think for the other one, it was only giving the one answer, and then Porco Rosso and the one about the person who decapitates spirits.
Oh, Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, so you would have known it just from those answers.
Yeah.
That's what we call process of elimination.
But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the Studio Ghibli. We're getting close to an end of the episode here.
Yeah, a bit of a shorter one, but
any final questions or comments or concerns about the Studio Ghibli franchise? Any questions about Hayao Miyazaki himself? We are close friends after all.
What's his social security number?
He doesn't have one. He's Japanese.
Oh, what's his emotional support security number?
Yawn.
Should
That
have
means
known.
4.
That's no way. That's mine too.
Twinsies.
All right.
But yeah.
I think that's that. If you guys have anything to add to the conversation, you can go ahead and leave it down in the comments below or do whatever you do on Spotify. You can also shoot us an email over at 2raccoonspodcast@gmail.com. That's with 2 C's, 2 O's, no spaces, and no pigmen. But yeah, thanks for joining us for this episode. I've been Some Guy with a Hat.
I've been Some Guy with a Microphone, and thank you for joining us. And remember, it's better to be a pig than a fascist.